mysterious ruins, storytelling shards, and even shulker box pots. How you doing, everybody? It's me, Waddles, and to be honest, I can't think about anything other than archaeology right now. There have been some pretty big developments in the world of Minecraft archaeology in the most recent weeks, including me discovering one of the best archaeology mods that I've ever seen. Today, we're going to dive into it and check it out. As always, I'll leave the like and subscribe button right by the description for you. So check those out. So lads, it's been a little while since we've done a mod showcase over here, but I'm excited. I'm more excited than ever. We've got a lot to check out today. To raise the stakes a little bit, we'll go in order of that natural survival progression. Please be a good world. Please be a good world. Please be a good world. You're a good world. This is really, really nice. Off to a solid start. It was over 2 years ago now, to the exact day. A very fateful moment. Minecraft Live 2020, the best Minecraft feature of all time, was revealed, shown off, and showcased. Fast forward a little bit, and sure enough, it made it into 1.17, right? Okay, well, maybe in 1.8. Okay, well, maybe in 1.9. Oh, no, not in there. Oh, okay. Well, maybe 1.20, actually. The devs have been pretty sneaky on Twitter lately, especially Allralph, who just happens to be one of the main devs behind this whole archaeology system. It looks like it might be coming in this update. So there's that backstory. Now, all we need to do is we need to find a chicken. This mod, formerly known as the archaeology mod, is a pretty much block by block, item by item recreation of what we saw at Minecraft Live a couple years ago. Step 1 is a brush. Now, to be able to craft this really cool brush item that's going to unlock like basically everything to do with this mod, we're going to need 2 things. Thing number 1 is going to be a little bit of copper. So basically check. We'll go ahead and get that. Chicken. At this rate, I think I'm going to find the new structure before I actually find a chicken. I take it back. For science. Yes. 1 feather. Now, we just unlocked a brand new crafting recipe. The crafting recipe is this copper brush. This is the ticket to all of our excavation needs today. Now, the copper brush is going to be used to chop away blocks. However, not just any block. You see, if we were to just take plain old dirt and place it on and use the brush on the dirt, nothing happens actually. Instead, if we want to be able to actually excavate and find useful treasure, we're going to need to look for one of these 4 excavation blocks. We've got excavation sand, excavation dirt, excavation gravel, and finally excavation red sand. Now, as far as I can tell, every single one of these excavation blocks is going to do basically the same thing. The only true difference here is the type of material. For example, if we're inside of a desert, we're not really going to see a ton of dirt, right? So we have excavation sand instead. In this mod, to excavate things, we need a specific structure.
At dawn, we move.
And it's dawn. Let's do this. To be able to excavate things in this mod, we're looking for a structure known as the excavation site. In this mod, the excavation site exists in 4 different biomes. We've got the plains, we've got the deserts, we've got the snowy biomes, and we've got the mangrove swamp, actually. Anyways, we continue traveling for a while until we come across something very, very interesting. This thing, covered in snow, stands out. It's different. So this interesting ruined house over here is going to be one of the many brand new interesting archaeological excavation site structures that is added to the game. So walking around inside of this thing, we've got some stuff going on. We've got like a grindstone, we've got like a ruined building, and even skulls over here. So like, maybe something really bad happened here. But anyways, all over this thing, we have some kind of ruin thing that happened, and actually, a brand new item as well. And check this out. This is the brand new pot item that will be added to the game when the archaeology feature makes it, and I don't know if you just noticed that, but I didn't have this stone hoe before. I didn't have this before either. These interesting looking pot items are a true multifunction. Not only are these things going to be beautiful for decoration, but they're also super useful for storytelling and storage too. Check this out. This is one of my favorite parts of this mod. Like, the makers of the mod didn't have to do this, but they definitely did. If we go ahead and break this thing, we don't get the pot, but instead, we get whatever was inside of that container right there. So sweeping edge, we've got that hole right there, we've got emerald, we've got a little bit of gold, some snow, I think maybe, no, not copper, but a lot of cool things. There is a way to craft those pot items too, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's take a look at some of these excavation blocks right here. So this dirt, this is a little bit different looking, you can tell by the white lines. That's an excavatable block. If we go ahead and just use the brush on it, the block breaks, and I actually don't get anything. Funnily enough, I actually learned the mechanics of this mod from you guys in the comments of this video. I was doing it all wrong in that video. There's actually a little bit of skill required to do this excavation stuff, so check this out. Instead of just aiming at the block and using it, I'm gonna move my mouse a little bit to stop the block from breaking. You see how it starts to break, but then it stops? Well, that's because I'm moving the brush, and look at this thing. If I keep this going, and I can get it all the way, I get a shard, and a shard is like the coolest thing in this thing, but it's not the only thing that you can find. If you excavate these blocks and like do it right, don't let the block break, if you let it break, you get nothing. But if you don't let it break, sometimes you can find some other types of treasure as well, or kind of just junk. Like real-world archaeology. Bones. Useless. I mean, who knows? Maybe even planted by the US government to trick us into thinking dinosaurs were actually real. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, though, because this site is inside of a snowy biome, what we're gonna have to do is come over to the snow and dig the snow out, because sure enough, underneath the snow, we'll find even more excavatable blocks. Now, as you can see here on the brush and the hotbar, as I use this thing, it is taking a little bit of durability damage. But that's not the only thing that happens to the brush. Copper. We know about it, we love it. We've had it for a little while now. Of course, we all know what copper does. Slowly, if placed down over time, it oxidizes. And when it oxidizes, it gets like... well, it gets oxidized, alright? That oxidization mechanic is actually going to carry over to the brush as well. You see, the more we use this excavation brush, the more it's actually going to oxidize. And as this brush begins to oxidize, it's going to get better and better and better. You see, if we can oxidize this brush successfully, get it to the next layer, the loot that we're going to get when actually like excavating for things, it's going to get a little bit better. Now, this excavation mechanic is actually a little bit more tricky than you would think. It's kind of hard. If this mechanic makes it in the game like this, it's going to require practice and skill to actually use. You see, if I don't use the thing, the block starts to break. And if I use this thing and brush too fast, the block will actually also break. Instead, you're going to want to find that perfect combination in the middle, where you like move the mouse a little bit, but not too much. Hey, for this mechanic, Bedrock gang, good luck. Just good luck. So let's go ahead and speed this process up a little bit by oxidizing our brush, or in other words, just getting a completely different brush that is already aged. What kind of treasure will we get? Anything better? And as you can see, definitely better. From that thing, we got 4 emeralds, 1 excavation site. Oh, that's great. That's such a cool way to get resources. Of course, in vanilla, 4 stages of copper. In this mod, 4 stages of copper brush. Each layer of brush gets a little bit better, but it's not always going to work out in your favor. Now, I don't know about this, but it looks like to me, the fully oxidized copper brush is also brushing this block a whole lot faster, right? Now, different biomes come with different types of excavation structures. This is something that we can check out in a little bit more detail in a part 2 if you want. If you want to see something like that, then all you got to do is leave a like, because, I mean, like, look at this one. This is a mangrove structure, and I mean, sure, kind of overtaken by the mangrove trees, but then again, that's exactly what happens. If you've ever seen anything in real life that gets, like, abandoned, nature just takes it back, and it's kind of beautiful in a way. So, from these excavation things, you can get some really cool treasures, but by far, the most interesting thing is probably going to be the ceramic shard. Let's talk about the shards. To actually be able to do anything with these shards, other than maybe like put them in an item frame, put them on display, we're going to need clay. Specifically, 5 pieces of clay. And a crafting table, 5 pieces of clay is going to give us 1 raw clay pot. If we go ahead and craft this thing and then place it down, we get something that looks like this right here. I mean, on its own, it's interesting. It's pretty cool. If we go ahead and break the thing that this pot is sitting on top of, the clay pot, because it's in its raw form, isn't affected by gravity at all. Now, the raw clay pot, this is where the shards come in. So if we have a shard, like we found it inside of the excavation site, we can walk over to this pot and place it on the pot. And then when we place it on the pot, it's there forever. Like there's no way to actually get it back or anything. Well, there's not supposed to be a way to get it back. Think about where you want to put the shard in the pot and then put it on the pot. And now, of course, you can put it on those flat sides. Each side will work, but also you can put it on the corner as well. Now, we've got different types of excavation sites in the game, and we've also got different types of ceramic shards in the game as well. Check this out. Inside of the creative inventory right here, we can see that we have a grand total of 13 different ceramic shards. Now, some of these might be a little bit more generic, like Ender Dragon or Creeper Face, but other ones are a lot more specific. For example, the slime one, I mean, come on, that's like literally the mangrove swamp, or the snowflake one, that's the snow biome that we were just in. By having different shards for different biomes is really going to incentivize exploring your world. By having different shards that can go literally anywhere on these pots, this is really going to incentivize personality, customization, and storytelling at the same time. Like, clearly, as you can see right here, I'm telling a story of the creeper, got the diamond sword, took out the slime, and profited. It built like a slime farm or something, I don't know. Anyways, you place up to 8 different ceramic shards on a single pot, or any number below. You don't have to put all 8. Then what you're going to want to do is place a campfire below this pot and give it a little bit of time. The heat combined with the raw clay and the optional shards on top of it are all going to combine together to create a pot. Now, once this is all done, if we go ahead and break this campfire, the pot is now affected by gravity. And then it fell and landed and
Actually, sadly broke.
You see, I guess the unfortunate part about these whole clay pots and everything is the fact that they're sensitive items. Like, you're gonna need to be careful with these things. Even if they're sitting on the ground and you break it yourself without silk touch, it's gonna be gone forever. Instead, what you're gonna wanna use is a tool with silk touch. If we use a tool with silk touch on it, then instead of losing the pot altogether, we're gonna get the pot. Once we have the pot, of course, we can place it down anywhere we want, and there we go. It's on the ground, and like, I mean, look at this thing. It looks so good on the ground, too. Now, while it's sitting on the ground, it kind of behaves like a normal pot would. You'll be able to take almost any plant item in the game that you can usually put inside of a normal pot and place it on top of this pot. It's like a fancier way to show off your plants, but that's definitely not all. If we interact with the pot, as we can see here, trying to use the pot, there's no, like, UI or anything that pops up. But I can definitely put things inside of it. So check this out. Sweeping edge right there, it's gone. This hoe, these emeralds right there, this stuff, and that too. If I give it enough time and also try and put enough items into this thing, eventually, this thing is gonna fill up all the way. As you can see, the bed can't fit. Now, a single pot can hold up to 9 different slots of items, kind of like a hotbar. Once I put those items inside of that pot, if I silk touch the pot and pick it up, they will stay inside of that pot. Now, the tooltip thing over here, it's just gonna say clay pot. It's not gonna actually say what's inside of it, but they're there. This turns the clay pot into a brand new option for storage and decoration, and also a brand new option for lootable items. Like, for example, let's see if we have any here. I don't think we do, like in the snow one, but you could come across this structure and find these pots just sitting here. Yes, we do. You could come across this structure, find these pots, and just silk touch them and keep them, like whatever's inside of them. Or you could just break them with your hand, break the pot open, and get all of the loot that was inside of it. Then I could take these pots back to my theoretical base, place them down, and let them sit and exist. Or I could take them back to my theoretical base and drop them onto a non-solid block, so like mud right here, and they're gonna break open. And when they break open, all the items that were inside of them are gonna spill out. There are so many different reasons I think a mechanic like this is perfection. I mean, first off, it's promoting exploration in your world. You go to different structures to find different sites and hopefully use the brush to carefully excavate. Then you get the shards, and these shards, they're really interesting, but they're also delicate remnants of the past. If you're not careful with these things, you will lose them, and they'll be gone forever. On the other hand, though, if you're a little bit more careful, it's a brand new mechanic and also a beautiful new way to personalize your base and store things. Oh, and speaking of personalization, I didn't even show you one of my favorite mechanics here. Check this out. Here I have a fully solid hardened pot, but it's like not dyed. If I use dye on it, it literally gets dyed. The color changes and it stays like that. Then you can put it in like your base or whatever, and then maybe you don't like the yellow anymore. It's not the vibe, so use the water on it, use a different dye, and this is so cool. Archaeology, it's going to be amazing. Different ceramic shards located in different structures that are found inside of different biomes, and when placed in different orders, tell different stories. A full rainbow's worth of brand new storage and decorational storytelling items, fitting perfectly into that 1.20 theme. What do you hope the archaeology system looks like once it makes it into Minecraft? Let me know down below, and if you'd like to see a part 2 with even more of this mod, then leave a like. As always, the mod link will be tucked in neatly down in the description for you. Check it out for yourself. It's an amazing mod. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's me, Waddles. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.